Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I am a master manifester, and I'm sure you are too, because you're watching content like this. I'm hot now. I got this big sweater on today. The name of this channel is Manifested Magic the Practical Way, because there are a lot of practicalities to manifesting the lives you choose. Let's talk about this practicality, right? There's been a theme going on lately, and I'm really in touch with it. Rarely do I get involved in like high profile stories, but this one really just got my attention. And you've probably already heard about it, the Shanquella Robinson from North Carolina. And the reason why, because rarely, some stories just really grab you, right? And I think it's grabbing me because I've been a person that's gone on several girls trips and events and retreats and this and that and all this sort of thing. I've even been the person who paid for other people's way, who didn't like me, clearly didn't like me. And for some reason, a part of me wanted to show that I, was good and I had good faith and paid for people's all kinds of stuff, right? And hotel rooms, cruise ship tickets, food, dinners, because that's just my way. And I was just thinking about that. One of my oldest sisters, way back in the day when I was hanging out with this one girl in this group, right? It was way back in the day. There are people I had known from Wendy's. And I don't know why. I was going to college and all that by then. And I had my bachelor's degree by then. But none of them had improved themselves. And I was hanging with them. And one day we would stop at my sister's house. And she said, "That girl doesn't like you. Why are you hanging with her? She don't like you." And I'm like, huh? What? Whatever. Because when you are brought up sometimes, and you may have situations to where children's voices weren't important. That was a lot of us coming from generations of people who were 80s kids, 80s babies, 90s kids, that sort of thing. And your words, like your voice wasn't a thing, right? You were a kid. So in that time, in those positions, we sometimes lose our ability to trust ourselves. And when we're around certain people and certain groups and certain environments, we just assume that we are wrong. We've done something wrong. We did, especially if you were raised in a mindset of shame, blame, and guilt. And I always tell my daughter, don't go retrofitting today's knowledge on yesterday's mothers, because it's not fair. Shame, blame, and guilt was a common tactic mothers used in the way that they operated back in the day. It made no one evil. It made no one a narcissist. It didn't make them bad. It just meant that those were the tactics that people used, some sort of shame, blame, and guilt. But in those environments, what happens is the children of those environments have no trust for themselves. They always believe they're wrong in many instances. So when you get around environments and you clearly can feel and know people don't like you, you start trying to use your intellect and say, well, they did this nice thing for me. They said this thing to me. They bought me a birthday gift. They did this. People can do all of this stuff. I received so many birthday gifts from women who didn't like me. You know what I mean? And it doesn't even matter. And when I think about this, it's very frustrating because my daughter was just like, well, how do you know what the issue? It's always jealousy. It's always jealousy or envy. There's never a reason to attack or hate someone so much unless their presence makes you feel like crap. And sometimes you can't help that other people's presence makes you feel like crap. My method for that, because I've experienced that too. We're not immune to that. I've experienced it too. I literally sat in a person's face and said, you know what? Because of where I'm at in my life right now, your presence is just reminding me of all the things that I haven't done yet. Your presence is making me feel like crap. And I said it all the time. Because I don't want to live in my shadows. I want to know that they exist, and I want to know what my issues are. And then I want to somehow maybe possibly outgrow it or outlive it, or out-evolve it, right? So this is not even to say that nobody should experience jealousy, and if you do, you're a bad person. No, and it's not, because when I say jealousy, to me, that's the act of going even further and acting on the negative feelings. But I think everybody can feel some level of envy or some level of negative feelings because someone else has something that you really, really want. And a lot of times we have to get in these environments and say, oh, I'm so happy for you. I'm so great, and this and that. And we're not really feeling it deep down inside, but we know that's the lip service that has to happen. Otherwise, people will say that we're jealous, we're this, we're that. And many times it's not even the case. Many times we're just in a point in our lives where we don't have anything to give. We may not be manifesting the way we want. We may not be producing the way we want. And when we see other people are, we just don't have anything to give. But I cannot think of a moment in my life where I sat around and strategically planned negative consequences or negative things toward other people because they had something that I didn't have. If anything, I told them, get out of my space because right now I'm not a good person to come bring that to. I don't have anything to give. I've never sat there and tried to pull someone down to a negative level. To me, that's extra. And so when I think about this and I see these people and I think about my daughters and I think about friends, I always want to tell people, don't walk around being fake. Don't walk around not living in your truth and then make friends accordingly because those people will hate you. And it's not your fault. Family members will hate you. Parents sometimes hate children because children make them feel bad that they didn't accomplish whatever they thought they should have accomplished. They don't spend time being happy for the event that had happened through them and the kid comes from them. No, they just go on me, 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 me. When you get around people that are me, 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 me all the time, with everything that's happening, yeah, it's a problem. Because at this point in your life, say your 30s, 40s, or whatever, you should be able to have a conversation with people that's not you dumping on them. That's an equal exchange of energies. This is what happened with me. This is what happened with you. This is what happened with me. This is what happened with you. This is an interesting thing that happened. It's not dumping, it's sharing. And so I guess my biggest thing is that I've been a person that's been around so many women so many times who didn't like me. And I felt the need to try to show up in some kind of way and be something to them. And I'm like, no, you don't really like me. And I'm okay with that. And I think most recently in my life, it was one of the first times as an adult where I proactively shut down friendships that were not working for me any longer. I can tell the negative energy was there because my life had shifted in another direction and theirs was somewhere else. I would say that it was in a great direction, but apparently they didn't seem to be because most people don't feel like their lives are complete until they have a man in it, which is nonsense. I have the exact opposite belief. Funny enough that people are always trying to come when you have the opposite belief, right? And so my thought process is that we don't have to wait until these things get toxic. We don't have to wait until these situations are beyond our control. So many people, when I think back, shouldn't have been on trips with me. I remember there's one female who didn't even have the money to be on the trip. I paid for her plane ticket, paid for the hotel and everything. She couldn't even give me the money back for anything. I had to pay for a lot of our meals. She was aggravated the whole time about money. I still had a great time. And then we got to the airport to come back. Now, mind you, she didn't book these tickets. She was angry with me because we had a 2-hour layover. It's like people have issues and people wonder why you take such a position of, let me figure out who you are before you enter my life or before you're here. It's not about being paranoid and it's not about being untrusting. It's about being smart because the average lot of people are not manifesting anything. They're not creating anything. Life is happening to them and they are bitter. A lot of people are bitter. And if you are happy or you like yourself or anything like that, that's above the average, above the norm, people look at you like you're a problem. They don't look at you as somebody who inspires them, somebody they want to learn something for. Most of the time, they start trying to one-up you. And it's like, dude, I'm in my own lane. I'm in my own lane. I'm okay in my own lane. You be in yours. The problem is that they don't have a lane. You can't connect with people who don't have a lane. You can share, you can mentor, you can give them some things, you can be there for them if they ask questions, but you don't need to be going to lunch and on vacations with people who have less than you and who are less. And people say, oh, that's so rude, that's so this, that's so that. No! I've been on vacation vacation with family members who thought I was supposed to pay for their meals and pay for their trinkets and their what is it called? The souvenirs and stuff. And I'm like, why am I responsible for your lack of planning? That's what it comes down to. If I want to be responsible for it, I'll do it. But you're not going to try to guilt me into being responsible for the fact that I planned and you didn't. It's a very frustrating thing. And I can honestly say, even when I've been times when I've been broke and my money was low in life and I didn't have anything and I was always thinking that I deserve more, blah, 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 I never looked to it from other people. I never tried to get it from other people. I never looked to other people and thought, you have it, why can't you just give it to me? You have it, why can't you just loan it to me? Those kind of people are not to be trusted. They are gimme, gimme, gimme kind of folks. They never can do the favor for you. You know why? Because they never have it to do it for you. And they're never going to come to you and ask you, what can I do for you? Because they are so consumed with what they don't have and what they want and what you have and what they don't have that they spend all their time there. They never think for 1 second that you've set your life up in a way that you don't have to go around chasing money and you don't have to go around asking people to pay your bills for you. I mean, it just never ends. And when I see these kind of stories like this young lady, I'm like, if you are beginning to shine and you are beginning to create something and you are beginning to develop and evolve, and go in isolation. You don't need these people. Yes, we are an interdependent society, but in your everyday life, you don't need these people. Create the life you choose, manifest your life for the better, and the right people and environments and circumstances will come. But hanging around with bums and cowards and losers because there's nobody else to hang around, it just makes you one of them. And you fall victim to the same nonsense that the negative energy that they're perpetrating. And I think about this with one of my daughters who loves to just have a friend. Anybody I know who's always talking about having friends, and it annoys me because I'm just like, be your own company. People should be a bonus. You shouldn't have to share everything with other people. Interface with yourself. People are a bonus. I'm so happy I don't have to learn that lesson the hard way. I don't need to be in relationships. They're a bonus. I don't need to chat with people in the workplace. It's a bonus. I don't need friends to go with me to the mall on vacations, trips. I'm a solo traveler. Oh, that's a bonus. If I find a good person and somebody who wants to do it, bonus, bonus, bonus. But you need to be a self-contained entertainment manifesting machine that other people know can't be infiltrated with the promise of a buddy. No, thank you. I'm good. Who needs friends like that? No, thank you. Anyway, that upset me. And not many things in major news and all that kind of stuff upset me these days. For the most part, I keep my mind fresh and I know these things occur in the world. And I know they've always been happening. Heck, Lifetime got a whole series on women that snapped. 15 years ago, these girls in the suburbs took their friend to the woods and to go hang out, and they all took turns stabbing her. So this is nothing new. But just in this situation, it relates so close to home because these are girls. This girl is somebody who's just making it. Just, the college, she got her degree. She's trying to develop herself. She has businesses. 20-something years old, I was doing the same thing. And I think about that mindset that you have to have. You can't worry about people. People should be the last thing on your mind. And when and so sometimes even me and my partner, I'm being transparent. We have trouble with this thing. One, invite people to the house. I'm like, who are these people? Yes, they're blood related to you, but who are they? Who are they inside? What are their energies? What are we bringing into our home? What are we pushing past the threshold? Who are we allowing to tour this space? When my first husband, only ex-husband, was like that, desperate for a friend all the time, always inviting these people over who clearly didn't like him. And I'm like, these dudes don't like you. You know that, right? They don't like that you have this big old house. They don't like that you drive that Lexus. They don't like that you are straight-laced and you got a corporate job. They don't like that you have a good-looking wife, a new kid. Your life is going well. They are losers and they don't like it. Yet, that was always trying to spend time with those losers. Well, needless to say, I left them with those folks. Because I'm sitting in my house having regular day and you're traipsing these randos through the house. Who are these people? Why are they here? See, people don't understand that it's much bigger than being an a-hole. It's about energy. It's about opening yourself up to nonsense. And I don't care who it is. Family, friends, children. If your energy is not right, you're not coming around me. Bottom line. And it takes stories like this one about this girl in North Carolina for us to see. There's real meaning behind that. There's a real reason why we shouldn't be hanging around with bums and losers and people that are not on the same level as us. Why don't move into neighborhoods around bums and losers and people that's not on the same level? Because you're more than them. You're doing more. You're creating more. You're developing more. You're putting more time and energy into who you are as a person and who you want to be in this world, in this space. And other people are not. Where you're passing through, they've landed. And you want to go traipsing the neighbors through your house so they can know what you have? It's not that you can't go buy the stuff again. It's a violation. I don't know you like that. You don't need to be here. So that's my bonus of being an introvert. I love that part of me. I love the fact that I have great discernment and intuition. And I make sure everybody knows it is a privilege for you to be in my space. And you should feel the same way about your space. And if we're both knowing that it's a privilege for folks to be in our space, we should get along swimmingly, right? Anyway, rarely do I rant and give aggravated videos, but a frenemies, that's important. You need to pay attention to that because a lot of people are looking to climb and get somewhere, and all they're worrying about is your income, what you have to offer, and what you can do for them and what they're trying to create. They're not thinking 1 second about your dreams, your hopes, your desires, and your goals. And you can feel when people don't give a damn. And when you can feel it, you got to go with it. Anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful day. No frenemies. That's why that little meme that came out, you can't sit with us. I used to be like, I don't want to sit with y'all. No thanks. I've sat there many times and it's fake, 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 fake. The first thing I notice about people, even adult women, when they are friends and then I get along with one or two and the first thing they're trying to do is talk crap about the other one. Nah. I've sat through that just recently in my adult relationships and friendships. Nope. I'm not about to talk about her with you, and I'm not about to talk about you with her. Because I'm past that, and I'm not interested in it. And if that's what these friendships are, then we can just move on to something else. I'll just go do something else in my life. I'm good with that, right? Anyway, teach these lessons to young people. Because let me tell you, the company that you keep is just about everything. You can say what you want. You can be nice if you want. You can go hang out if you want and be like, oh, but they're my people. They're my friends. Whatever. The people you keep the company of are you. Bottom line. And some people think, oh, you're so cold and calculated. I'm not calculated to that degree, but I am cold about who's going to be around and who's not, because I think it's important. We should all do that. That way, the right tribes can be with the right tribes all the time. And the people that don't care and don't give a damn, and that's losers and bums and trying to steal and take and scheme everything in life, they can go find and hang and scheme and steal and rob and murder each other. How about that? You know? Nonetheless, sending love and light out to that family. It's an unfortunate situation. And this is a rarity for me, but that hit me very close to home because I've been that chick so many times. It's like, girl, you're better than that. Just go do something else. That's not your crew anymore. And it's all good. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.